Would you let an AI agent run your distribution company for $150,000? Luckily, one of my clients said yes. And 3 months later, they reduced their support team from 8 full-time reps all the way down to only 2. This AI took over 600 phone calls a day. Where is my order? When will it arrive? Is this product available? Can you send me a picture? All answered instantly by a custom AI that we built just for this company. Today I'm going to show you what it sounds like, how it works, and how this company is able to save 6 figures a year using this tech. Make sure to watch till the end because somewhere in this video I've hidden my personal 15-day AI transformation plan. You can download that for free and plug it right into your business today. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name is Liam. We've helped many companies from small businesses all the way up to 8-figure enterprises use AI the right way and see these crazy results. If you feel like you're being left behind in the AI wave, then make sure to book a free AI consultation call with me down below. For the first 3 people, this is completely free, so make sure you don't miss out. And now let's dive into the live demo.
How can I help you today?
Yeah, hi. I was just going to check if you still had a specific item available.
Sure, I can help with that. Could you please tell me the slab ID you want to check?
Yeah, that's 239209.
Perfect, so that's 239209. Did I get that right?
Yeah, correct.
Thanks for confirming. The one you just asked about isn't available anymore. Would you like me to check for similar options for you?
Yeah, that'd be great. Sure, please.
Okay, just a second. Okay, the closest match I have is slab 239210. If you want details or to see more options...
Yeah, maybe you can just send me a picture of that one. Would that be possible?
Of course, you're probably a homeowner, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. May I have the slab ID just to double check?
Yeah, it's just the
I
second one
send
that you just
this
suggested,
photo?
you know, the similar one.
Okay. Perfect. So that's 239210. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
All right. I'm just sending a text message with a photo. Done. You should get a text with a link to see the photo of slab 239210. 0 inches, just a few seconds. Let me know if you need anything else, okay?
Great, well thank you so much. This was super helpful. In which location is that one again?
You're
like
welcome.
that slab? Where could I maybe look at that one in person? That would be great.
Absolutely. The slab you just asked about, 239210, is available to view in person at our Kernersville location.
Okay.
Would you like to come by?
Yeah, I'd love to. How do I?
Perfect.
Like when can I come? Maybe tomorrow? Would that be possible? When are you guys open?
Great. You can come to our Kernersville location anytime tomorrow. That's Friday, between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Just to confirm, you're interested in viewing slab 239210 amazonite. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Can I have your first name and last name to set up your
Yeah,
visit,
that's
please?
that's Liam Parker.
Thanks, Liam Parker. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly.
Thanks, Liam Parker. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I think you got it.
All right. Let me quickly book that into our system and send you a link. 1 sec. Perfect, Liam Parker. Your appointment to view slab 239210 at our Kernersville location is all set for tomorrow. You'll get a text with a link to pre-register. Just check it and you're good to go. Anything else you need before you head over?
No, that's good. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, so there was a lot of things that just happened, but I want to quickly explain. So basically what she did is she was able to check in the live inventory, and I'm going to blur out the company name so that I don't leak any data, but effectively it's able to check in the system if it's available. It offered a suggestion because one slab wasn't available, right? It realized this isn't available, so let me find the next best option. It's able to send pictures of that slab to my phone. It's able to book appointments, check opening times, send a link to pre-register to my phone as well, which is great. And yeah, there's a lot more that this does, which I don't want to show you in this demo because it it'll be like a 2 hour long video, but this is very, very cool, right? You can also do a lot more things with this. Let me first of all break down how this works in general terms, and then we can go deeper and deeper into how this works, how much money this saves, and so on. So if you thought that sounded cool, wait for the results. These are absolutely amazing, and as you can see on the screen right here, we have a dashboard. Now, really quick before I show you and explain how much money this has saved, I want to say two things. First of all, this is not live data from the client to protect their privacy. This is a 12-month prediction for the next 12 months based on data that we've collected. So these are very accurate numbers, but for the sake of this company, I've blurred out the name, and I'm also not going to share the exact results that they got, but this is very, very close. So just a quick disclaimer. Basically what we do, once the AI is finished calling, it sends a few bits of information over here. And as you can see, we get the phone number that actually called. As you can see, this is all the same to, once again, protect the privacy. But these are their phone numbers of the individual customers that called. You see the date and time that the call was made, and then there's a different category. So each time the call was made, an AI decides, did the caller ask about a specific slab, or were they just generally interested? Or you can also see that up here, right? We have like an appointment or general interest, order details, and so on. So you can actually see what your customers are most interested about. Then we have the duration in seconds, the cost, which is basically the AI usage cost. So how much did we have to pay the AI to run? Then we get a summary and also we can actually click on these as well. We get a summary and yeah, we can even listen back to the call if we want to. So lots of details in here. And then we evaluated this. So as we go up here, you see 4 big juicy numbers, and they're pretty self-explanatory, right? So basically what we did is we saved this company over the next 12 months over 7,000 hours. They will spend around $38,000 on the actual AI. So what does the AI need to run? And as you can see also, the savings, now this is actually already taking into account this number, right? So this is pure savings. They will have made over 200,000 calls and saved $156-ish thousand over the next 12 months. And this is, I mean, this is pretty insane, right? This is the power of voice AI because it can actually replace humans at this stage, right? By the way, no human got fired. They all got a different role and job within the company. So they were actually happy that they didn't have to take these calls anymore. And these are the kinds of results that AI gets, right? This is not a joke. If you do AI the way that we do it here, for example, it is solution oriented. You don't get distracted by shiny tools, but you just solve a problem that exists and you save a lot of money, right? And in case you're interested to see how much money this can save you, either book a call with me to get the most exact quote, or you can actually use my AI call savings calculator, which I've made. I'll link that for free down below. And basically what you can do is you can input the amount of calls you get per day. So in this case, the company got 600 calls per day. Then I always assume very generously that an employee can handle around 80 calls per day. The AI costs around 12 cents per minute to run. This is not what you pay me. This is basically what you pay the AI softwares. Then the annual cost per employee. So let's say you pay them, I don't know, $35,000 a year, for example, and the average call lasts about 3 minutes. This means that you've got around 8 employees, which you're paying $23,000 a month for, right? Now, if you then click on calculate savings, you can see without AI, you're paying that $23,000 just for the salaries. But with AI, you're only paying $6,000 based on these 12 cents per minute. 600 calls times 12 cents per minute times 3 minutes, right? That's how we get to the $6,000 a month. And as you can see, this will save you $16,000 a month at this rate, right? And at the end of the year, you've got $219,000 in savings, which is pretty cool, right? That is pretty amazing. And on top of this, you can also work out the earnings. So you can say, you know, for example, in this case, let's say they miss maybe 10 calls a day, which is, what is that? Let's work that out. Let's say maybe they've missed 15 calls a day times maybe 300 days a year, 4,500 missed, right? 4,500 calls missed. Let's say the success rate of the calls of actually converting a customer, getting them interested and so on is only 10%. And then the close rate is maybe 15%. So once somebody books a call and looks at one of these stones, in our case, they only actually show up and their AI is only 10% successful and the close rate is only 15%. And each one of those stone slabs costs, say, $5,000. Actually, that's probably a bit much. Let's maybe make it $1,000 or $1,500, you know, play around with it as you will. And then you hit generate. which means that you will actually lose around, where is it? Correct, you will get another 68 closed leads per year, which means that per month you get around 8 grand average, and over the year you are actually losing currently $100,000 just from missing these calls. Right, so if you miss the call, you obviously can't actually book a meeting with the customer, which means that this customer will probably go to a competitor. Right, so in this case, we actually didn't even add that to our calculation here, but the savings are definitely comfortably, very comfortably in the 6-figure range for a solution like this. Right, and yeah, I just like showing people the numbers so that they actually know that this stuff works. It's pretty cool to see it black and white on paper. And now what I'd like to do is explain how it works, right? How does it actually function? So this is a more techie side of the video. If that doesn't interest you, then that's probably the end for the video for you, right? No need to get super technical on all of this, but let me first of all explain it in a maybe simpler way, and then I can go into the prompts and everything else. So we can start here. Basically what we have is we have an AI, right? And this AI can talk on the phone. Now, the way we make it talk, I'll explain in a moment. But effectively, what this AI has is has access to workflows. Now, these workflows are in a software called N8N, and the AI is built on a software called Vappy. And I'll show you both of these in a moment. So there's workflows in N8N, and there's an AI in Vappy. Cool, right? And the main principle I want you to understand here is that this AI has access to, in our case, around, what was it, six workflows? 6 or 7 workflows. And they're all connected to the AI. Now, what most people think is, we have an AI, and we're going to give it system access to absolutely everything. We'll let it look through the whole database and check if something's available. We'll look at all the order numbers and see where the specific order is. Right? We'll let it manage the entire calendar to book appointments. That's actually a really bad idea, because AI does make mistakes. It's not 100% perfect, like a human. And if it makes a mistake, people are scared that it might mess up, right? Understandably. So all we do here is we have an AI which speaks and talks, it maintains conversation, it sounds nice, and at the right time, it just clicks a button, right? As far as it's concerned, it can just press a button and then executes a workflow. Now, the good thing about workflows is, as you know, they're very fixed, right? It's a workflow, it's step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. This is in code, right? All of these are in fixed code. And if the AI, for example, says, check this slab, the only thing that it can do is tell this workflow to search for one specific slab for availability. And then this workflow executes and then sends back an answer to the AI. For example, yes, it's available, smiley face. You can tell the customer it's available. And this is how the AIs work, right? This is just a very, very basic overview, that we don't let AI just do everything, but we give it access to a few workflows. And this is why they're so reliable, right? This is why they can actually be used in scenarios like this, because it doesn't really mess up. The worst thing that it does is it maybe misunderstands the slab name, and then it searches for the wrong, detail or whatever. But it's nothing catastrophic. Like, it can never just wreck the whole system because it doesn't have full system access. And by giving it more tools and buttons and workflows like this, they can become pretty useful. Because now all the AI has to do is decide, when do I use which like little feature at which time, and how do I maintain conversation with the customer to sound like a human. And now all of a sudden this AI doesn't have that much to do. It just has to make a few little decisions and speak. And this is why we're also not overloading the AI. This is how we reduce hallucinations. And the simpler the task, basically, the more we can outsource into these workflows, the better, because then the AI is always going to be the weak link, right? It's going to be the one that messes up, not the workflows. We want to limit the responsibility that this AI actually has, if that makes sense. Cool. So here we are inside the first software called Vappy. And as I said before, we use 2 softwares, right? We use Vappy for the AI, and then we use N8N, which is all of these workflows that I just described over here. And let me walk you through the setup in Vappy and the N8N workflows as well. So basically in Vappy, what you can do is you can create an assistant, and then you can choose the model first of all. OpenAI 4.1 is fantastic for these models. Then you can give it an opening message where it says, hey, this is Kate, how can I help you today? And then you will go deeper into the prompt. So the prompt here, there's a few things I want to touch on because I won't go into like every phrasing. This takes a long time. I would say about 50% of this build was just working on the prompt and fine-tuning little bits of information, but that gets boring. So let me explain it in a way that might make it interesting for you. First of all, one big thing that we say is you don't know anything or can't help with anything except for what is defined in the prompt and the tool calls. What we're doing here is we're basically telling the AI, you are absolutely stupid, you know nothing, and you only know what's actually afterwards, right, what's in the prompt. And this actually prevents a lot of hallucinations because we limit the access of this, of the model here, 4.1, to any of its previous data. Because 4.1 knows pretty much everything, right? It knows all of the internet because that's what it's been trained on. So we're telling it, don't access anything except for what you know in here. That's a great way to reset the prompt. Then we basically tell it, you're Kate, an AI receptionist for X company, right? You work for X. You're in a voice call interaction. This is the current date. These are the locations that they have and opening times and so on. So just some context of what it actually does and where it works. Then we have the agent roles, which is basically, it's like little instructions for each one of the workflows and the tools that I'm going to show you in a moment. So we basically tell it, for example, for booking appointments, you first ask this question, then this, then you use the opening times tool to check when the opening times are and so on. And basically, I won't go into each one of these, but this is like a step-by-step guide for the AI to know when to execute which workflow. Let me show you an example. So for example, let's go into checking slab availability and location. If the customer asks for a specific slab, ask for the slab ID, repeat it back, and if it's confirmed, then you can use the slab availability tool. Now in the tools section, we have quite a few tools in here, and I'm going to click on the tools over here and go to wherever it is, slab availability tool. So the slab availability tool, we first of all tell it, use this tool to check if the slab is available. And then what we do is we tell it, you can extract parameters like the slab ID. So what we want this to do is look at the conversation and say the customer just asked for the slab ID 12345. And then what we do is we tell that AI, please send that information over here to this workflow. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different workflows, right? We filter them by name. So in here, for example, we have slab availability, right? So this over here receives this slab ID information that the AI sent. Then this switch filter over here decides this is the AI just used the slab availability tool, and then we execute this workflow. And I can't click into any of this because it will reveal data that is company specific, but effectively what we do is use an API call to look into their system and search for one very specific slab. We search for the slab ID that the AI just sent through, and then we send back a response. So if the AI, if this slab is available, then we go up here and we send back something saying, yep, it's available. If it's not available, we send a message back to the AI saying, unfortunately, this is not available. Either way, what we do is we create a record in Airtable and we actually log what the customer asked about. And that way we actually get the data that I showed you before. So after each time it uses the tool, we collect that data to analyze later. And this principle goes for everything, right? So for example, if it uses the send photo tool, there's an instruction in here in the prompt. Let's see, where is it here? Sending photos, ask for the slab ID, repeat it back, and then use the send photo tool. So in this case, what it will do is use this tool, right? This filter decides, perfect, they use the AI used the send photo tool. Then we go up here, we search for the slab in their system, we get the link, then we send an SMS message, and then we respond back to the AI saying, yep, I've just sent the text message, please check your inbox or your messages. And then we also once again save that in Airtable, the interface I showed you before, so that we know how many people asked for a photo. And this principle goes for everything, right? We use the AI for things like checking order details, for checking opening times, for sending the link to pre-register, right? As you saw in the demo, I booked an appointment and it sent me a link to pre-register. So this is basically the whole principle of this. Now, you can expand this almost infinitely. After a while, if we were to double these workflows, going back to our analogy here, if we have triple the workflows in here, that's the point where we'd start to say this is too much for one AI, and then you'd split it up, right? And that's when you'd start to work on things like actual AI agent infrastructures, where we have a whole team of AIs, right? And then we have one AI above everything, which manages these AIs, right? So it can get really, really complex really fast. But for most use cases, one of these is actually enough. And if this feels overwhelming or you just like some, fresh insight, some help, then you're welcome to book a call down below. I'm offering free calls for the first 3 people that sign up. So I hope to see you in there. I hope you learned something new. I find this stuff very exciting. I hope it's exciting for you as well. And I will see you in the next video.